Greetings and salutations, Earthlings. Zube here, and I'm going to do a collective reading. This reading is random and timeless. Take what resonates and leave what does not. I'm going to burn a little Palo Santo. And this morning in meditation, I was seeing life like one of those choose your own adventure books. Do they even still do those anymore? Anyway, when I was a kid back in the 1900s, there were these books and you would read and at the end of each chapter, it would be like, do you want to do this or do you want to do that? They were, adventure books. And so we used to play that in school also, where we would create an adventure and we would have a secret map, and we would make up the story, but the friend that we were playing with didn't get to see the map. I don't know if a lot of other people did that, but I was really into that for a while. And so there would be like, do you want to go down the stairs or up the stairs? And you had a stick figure, and sometimes there was a monster or whatever. But basically, in these books, you get to choose your own adventure. Sometimes you get like, I was about to say, and sometimes you get fucked, like not like that, but sometimes you die and sometimes you like win a prize or survive or save the world or whatever. So I was picturing it in my head. I was seeing a visual of this choose your own adventure where like there are ladders and stairs that go up and down, and there's all these different levels of ways that you can go. It was very visual for me. But ultimately, and it got bigger and bigger. But ultimately, there were spots where, say, you started here, and within this range, there were a whole host of things you can do. But say you needed to encounter one specific thing, they would all lead to that thing. Okay. And then this happened in multiple layers. It was really complicated. I love when I get like visual stuff in meditation, but sometimes it's hard to explain. And really, it lends itself to the whole anything that is meant for you is for you. Like you can't fuck it up, Don't ask me how I believe in fate and free will, but I do. Somehow I do. I feel like before we come here, we sign up for specific things. So if something is meant for you, it made me think of my husband now. I mean, I went to rehab in Mississippi, found out while I was in Mississippi getting sober that my kids and their dad were going to be moving to Texas. And my husband, Zeke, we weren't even boyfriend and girlfriend. We were just always friends. And I think there was this assumption that I would move back and we would be together. At least I had kind of assumed that. And when I was like, well, never mind, I'm moving to Texas. Like, I thought we were done, you guys. Like, fucking, all right, bye. That chapter is over. But, and I moved to Texas instead of moving back to Colorado. And somehow, but we still ended up together because it was meant to be, you know what I mean? And I had completely let go of the idea of it. And funny story, but it's actually because of COVID that it sort of like happened, anyway, like I went to a concert with him, whatever. It just transpired because we had always been friends, but I had really released the whole idea that he was ever going to be my boyfriend again or anything. And now we're married and we live in 2 states, and he's coming today. So you might not see me for a few days, but choosing your own adventure. Now, I believe it's significant once we are like awake and aware and, conscious that we act in like good faith and unconditional love, in a loving way, and that we make, that colors our choices, but sometimes I have this like, oh, am I doing the right thing? And it's like, is my heart in the right place? Like, I try not to kick my own ass over, am I doing the right thing? Because it's really fucking hard to know what exactly the right thing is to do in all cases. And sometimes you just have to do your best. So there's something here about giving yourself grace with choices that you're making. I wonder sometimes if I talk too much on here about myself, but it's kind of my channel. And that's just how I roll, I guess, because I have a lot of fucking stories. But maybe you are struggling with a choice and like, what's the right thing to do? Is the right thing gonna happen? Let's see. Let's see what the cards say. Gotta cover her up. The star. So in the star card, it's don't lose hope. It's hope after a difficult period of time. However, in the star card, it's still dark out, but it's like, remember that you are a star. That's kind of like a mystic card. It's the card of the astrologer, of the light worker. But it is dark. Maybe you are the light. And that's how we're feeling within. That's the internal card. Ooh, yeah. On the external. So in front of us, we have heartbreak, Three of Swords, stressing, worry, brokenheartedness. And that could be our own, or it could just be in the world around us. There's just heaviness, strife. What in the front door? In the God spot, which is the higher perspective, which is looking down on all of this. I was literally talking about a choose your own adventure book, and that you can't fuck it up. You just make a choice, right? And in the God spot, I can't think of a more choose your own adventure-ish kind of card than the goddamn Two of Wands. He's holding a globe, and there are two wands there. Now, the twos always imply choices, right? And I'm going to describe the story behind this card a little bit. So this is, with the Ace of Wands, we have this new beginning. We have one wand where we're moving. Wands are fire, action, passion, heart energy, the spiritual journey, the journey of manifestation. The wands are interesting. It's fire. But so this is like a teenager who's grown up in the castle, and now that he's grown, he's holding the globe in his hand and standing at the edge of like the castle grounds, looking out into the world, wondering where he will go. But generally, sometimes the choice is to just take the step between the two wands, and the choices will come up to us as they do. Alan Watts has a really cool thing that I was listening to one time, and I always remembered it. He was like, we spend so much time wrestling with and juggling with choices, and then in the moment that the choice needs to be made, we make it. Like, even if we thought we made up our mind, we might choose something else because at that time it just feels better. I just gotta on my phone. It's a new app, so I didn't recognize that noise. And I don't know if you heard it or not, but it's like, just move forward, choose your own adventure. And like, that came out after I was literally talking about choose your own adventure. I'm trying to think, like, Two of Swords wouldn't be like that. I mean, he's holding a globe in his hand, like, which way do I go? And you just go forward. It's a page turner. It's a page turner. I kind of want to clarify that. Oh my God. Because I want to, you know, they're right here. Sometimes it takes me a second to feel like I'm tapped in, but that was a really good meditation session, I would say. The fucking magician. You have all the tools available to you to create your reality. We are creating our own reality. We're choosing our goddamn adventure. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna pull some Queen of the Moon Oracle. Okay, so as we're making these choices, what's coming up for us? All right, what's coming up for us? I'll do one card. And then what are we learning? Focus. Okay. There's a butterfly that's transformation, change. She's like in a bubble. What is coming up for us is that we need to focus. Maybe we're getting distracted. We're getting distracted by the heartbreak that's on the outside, but we have to keep moving forward and focus and understand that we are creating. So we want to not react to the heartbreak that's on the outside. It's okay to acknowledge, let the emotion pass through, and then move on and refocus. This actually, that feels like a theme that has been interwoven within the past few days, is this refocusing, this pivot. Balance, we got that the other day. Balance is, what are we learning? What are we learning? We're learning to navigate through difficult things, consistently pivoting back to focusing on where we're going and what we are creating with our minds and our hearts in front of us. How are our guides helping? Will. I just talked about willpower. How are our guides? They're giving us the will. That's fun. Focus, balance, will. This is fucking challenging, you guys. Like that's what it is. This is challenging. You've got to have the willpower. I've been doing this thing where I talk to my water in the morning and I'm like, I tell it it's an energy drink. So maybe try that. It actually works. It's weird. All right. Let me do here. Do these angel cards. This might be kind of a long one. Okay. So what's going to happen? What's the outcome? Not that we want to be outcome oriented, but, and they're probably not going to give a straight up answer anyway, but like what's happening? What's the outcome? Steady progress. Getting Captain Obvious here. Steady progress. We acknowledge you for the progress you've made in remembering love in your daily activities. We can clearly see the contribution you're making to the world through your thoughts, feelings, and actions of love. So this is just a reminder. It's a progress, not perfection. It's all about progress. That's the outcome. The outcome is like steady progress. You're never going to fucking get there. And I mean, until you're like dead or whatever. And then even then, I don't think we get there. I think we're eternal. We're infinite. We'll always be. learning and growing and evolving. It's the outcome. Listen to your intuitive feelings. We're learning to trust our intuition. And when I say we're learning, like it's okay. Sometimes we might make an off choice, you know. Dear higher self, thank you for speaking loudly and clearly in peaceful ways that I easily understand. Archangel Raphael, thank you for guiding me to listen to my inner wisdom. So I'm asking, what is the outcome? We're also learning that I talk to spirit all the time. Literally all the time. I feel like I'm in a constant conversation with God or my guides or sometimes my brother. Maybe that's like some people would think that wasn't cool, you know, but I'm doing all right, you know, and I got a lot of shit going on that might make me not all right. And I'm all right. So I think it's okay. But we're learning. The outcome is that we're going to learn to listen to our intuition more, communicate with our guides more, our higher selves. Some people prefer that. I communicate with my higher self also. We're making steady progress. Don't lose hope. There you go. Don't lose hope. The star card. With the star card, I always point out we're coming out of difficult times and she's naked, right? Being naked to me implies like when you go through a difficult time, you're kind of reborn. And when you're reborn, it's like a fresh start, a new beginning, but you're like, oh, I'm naked. You're vulnerable in a new way because you've come out the other end of a difficult situation where you likely learned something. Power. I think we're learning. I am strong. I am grounded. I am powerful. I am like a cross between a dinosaur and a tank, but not a tank that is used for war. I am like a peaceful, loving dino tank who feels so strong it doesn't need to do anything but be. These are silly cards. We're learning to harness our inner power. And when we move with love, like Dr. David Hawkins talks about power, not force. Like we want to have power. We don't want to force things. Remind yourself that you are steadily making progress. It still blows my mind that we got in the God spot, we got the Two of Wands and you are the creator of your own reality. You know, choose your own adventure. This reading was pretty loud and clear. I love it when that happens. But anyway, I have a big day of picking up my husband from the airport and signing. No, we signed the lease, but paying our first month's rent in a house where I'll have an office. You might see me in a day. You might see me in 3. You might see me in a couple weeks. I really don't know. I'm going to give myself some grace because I got a lot of shit going on. But I love doing this and I love you all. So have a great day. Peace. Namaste.